pick of PACT and them having a greater historical win rate, that could be a very valuable bet to put on.
Yeah, that one definitely does look like an extra valuable bet for the team. It's, of course, this pistol round is going to be pretty crucial, and Goofy starts it off pretty nicely with a good headshot. Does need to fall back, though, before he gets caught out. Sobol towards Truck, but they're 4-man pushing towards that A-long. That means they're not going to have any linchpin whatsoever. Sobol chimes in as well. Headshots for days, and the last man standing, Necrogenesis, down to 24 HP. He's in trouble. And we'll get finished off by Sobol as well. 3 for Sobol, 2 for Goofy. And with that, it's going to be the side of Level Up or winning the pistol.
Actually,
with PACT. It's just
winning
swapped.
the pistol there.
The
The UI
side.
just slightly the wrong way around, but that is obviously going to be fixed momentarily as... I mean, that's great pistol play from the PACT squad. They don't allow any map control to go in Level Up's favor. They just stand at range and start tapping here, as now Level Up on the T side of this map are going to be looking for the force buy in the second round. They have the pistols and utility available now to work with, and they look like they might be targeting the B-bomb site.
Yeah, they know someone pushed out mid. They at least expect someone to have pushed out mid. And that is going to be Lunatic close towards that lower tunnel. Might get a good flank in, though, if no one keeps holding the back. They do keep one player holding behind. Yeah, and the flashes come through as well, trying to get them off the angle, but Lunatic now needs a little bit of help. They actually do not know, but luckily Dimkey does chime in, gets a return kill, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. Not favoring the CTs here. It is going to be a rush forward. The scout shots from the knees. He's practicing his op aim right now, and there's going to be the bomb planted by Necrogenesis. It's a 3-on-3 retake. B site's still one of the hardest sites to retake in the game, though, but it is definitely very doable, especially with the doors changing.
Trying to make their way back in our PACT. They have the range advantage with this M4A4, and they're exploiting it as well. Sobol found 2, and now at close range he converts to 3rd as well. Easy retake there from PACT as they rinse through the Level Up squad defending the B-bomb site, and Sobol gets himself a big triple kill on the M4. Now an eco ahead in the most likely scenario for Level Up. They do have a little bit of cash to justify a force, but you never want to do that in these third round scenarios. Just keep the eco, get the full buy out in the next one, and fight from the 3-0 deficit.
Yeah, you could upgrade possibly for like a Deagle, but on a map like... I mean, this is a really hard map to make the Deagles really work on the T side without good utility. It's because you don't have those quick peek angles, really. Maybe A-long is one of those angles, so Goofy does need to be a little bit careful, but they're just going to molly them off the angle, so they will get themselves the control in favor of the boys at PACT. Lower tunnel is going to be a push. Scout long range from Maniz. Might get overwhelmed in mid. Does need to be careful, though, that they don't push forward, and they're going to do exactly that. But they're so heavily tagged right now. Lunatic chiming in, whiffing a spray completely, and Necrogenesis does shut down Lunatic, making it a man advantage for Level Up. But their HP, it's what, like 50 for 100 for all of them combined?
And PACT have made the interesting choice to completely bail out of the B-bomb site. Eventually, Darko's thinking about going back, but they seem to be convinced this is going to be an A execution, and it might just be Level Up. They were in the B tunnels, but now they're making their way towards the A bomb site. With all the damage-dealing utility now deployed, they're looking to try and make moves, at least in mid. Deep tunnel smoke to try and bait out presence and rotations. Instead, they're going to be walking straight into these 2 rifles, and this is a very dangerous third round from Level Up, but the damage might just be too great to overcome.
If they manage to get that quick D headshot on Sobol, they could rush into the site. Actually, that was before Goofy got too close as well. 30 seconds left. Goofy might not expect him to have peeked so wide. Does drop the bomb, though. And he's just going to wait for some reinforcements from Goofy. Hides beyond sight. Spots one up towards the boxes. And it's going to be D shut down by Goofy, who gets himself 4 kills in that round. And he's on 6. Sobol's also on 6. Not an opening, not a bad opening 3 rounds for the 2 players.
The Goofy show on the A bomb site in that last round as he picks up the quad kill and does manage to get PACT through the T side eco eventually, and this is super interesting. CT side of Dust 2, and they push the double AWP button immediately. That is going to be a very interesting call for their economy. It means they have no safety buys back in the net, and it also means they're showing their hand early. They're telling LVLUP that, be careful, we might just bring 2 snipers out throughout this half.
If they lose this one, they're immediately caught with their pants down because they have no money left in the bank behind them. Whereas if they win this one and they don't keep enough players alive, it's pretty much the same problem where LVLUP will be able to force up decently behind it every single time, especially if they get a bomb plant coming through. But this op from Maniz, he's going to need to get a crucial first pick and fall back to safety because he is standing out in the open in a very dangerous position. If he's going to peek out wide, might not expect Necrogenesis to be boosted up in short.
Over.
And
The double AWP setup is hasn't quite revealed itself. Just Maniz who's displayed his hand, and Goofy finds the double with the M4A4 in towards A long as well. That is huge work from this LVLUP squad. Now just 2 players remaining for them. How on earth are they going to get out of this round?
well, Impulse will get aggressive, but jumps into the crosshairs of Goofy, and it's now all on AVN. On short, surrounded from both angles. Darko is going to chop his head off. They keep 4 players alive, 2 ops as well, and they get themselves 2 AKs for their trouble. So now all of a sudden, PACT are starting off with a bang as well, and that is, well, they're trying to counter out what happened to them in the previous series.
They certainly are, and we did mention that the doors open at bare minimum on Inferno for PACT. It's not a total nightmare for them over on that map in terms of win rate. They beat Gaming Legion recently 16-5, but outside of that, it's mixed results at best for this squad. So picking up Dust 2, definitely something they want in the back pocket. LVLUP with the strong potential they have on Train, you don't want to afford them a safety net and a guaranteed 3rd map in the event they mess up. So taking Dust too early, important for PACT now, and Sobol at close range should clean these 2 pistols away. 3 more though on their way to lead.
And this is just prize shooting from Darko. See whatever you can get. Will get his head chopped off by Necrogenesis in the end though, but it was pretty much a semi-force on the side of LVLUP. So they, you know, if you take that one away, great props to you, but it was not really that surprising that they'd get themselves shut down. 5 for PACT. Full buy coming out from LVLUP. Are they going to pick up that op? No, they're going to stick with the 5 AKs. The op did not get anything in their first buy round anyway, but it is still very, like, you need to go for a quick rush play to overwhelm these ops in time. If you give them time to set up, you are going to walk into crosshairs and you are going to lose players left and right.
It's going to be an early ramp commitment from LVLUP here, and having not found the shot, they're trying to bail out PACT instead. Goofy has taken down AVN through the smoke, and Sobol's opening up for more kills as well. Tag down low eventually is cleaned up, and D's only on 4 HP. That nade will take him down, and Impulse has the bomb, has secured a kill, but he's only on 25 HP himself. There are 2 AWPs still alive and kicking, and he has no way out of this pit unless he faces the snipers. He's taken Lunatic down, and he might just recover the round for his squad.
But he does not expect Maniz to be that close. 1 Tech-9 bullet should be enough. He's going to wait and completely whip the spray. Oh my God, Maniz, what was that? They win the round.
Oh, wow. That is one of the most horrible plays I've ever seen. This man has an AWP in his hands, by the way. He starts spamming and then gets flashed. Oh, God, just aim at his head and click once. That's all you've got to do. The man's not even looking at you. That is rather poor there. Now the double AWPs are gone. They've actually brought them back, but that's a huge drain on this CT bank. If LVLUP take control of this round, they've definitely forced PACT onto an eco.
That was not a round that you were supposed to lose, especially not with that man. A couple of people advantage. Peek out mid, the Opper loses it, and the Oppers are actually struggling right now on the side of PACT. Darko does get one, but gets done, and that is the B bomb site cleaned up completely. The retakes are too far away. This is a safe call right here. I don't think that they have... I mean, this is a super dangerous move forward. They are going to still try and get something done, but you really need to save these weapons because you've got no money in the bank. And the moment that you've pretty much lost that B site with all the rotations gone and you have absolutely no control of anything on the map, you should just call the save because it is nearly impossible with the post-plant positions of level up.
Yeah, you've just got to bail out at that point in time. Sobol, he's sticking around for some late round damage, but I really don't think you want to even attempt that here. Losing your M4 is way more dangerous to you than Level Up losing an AK is. So he's going to back away to defend Maniz's AWP. And I can't see Level Up extending too far for these kills. Don't seem interested in pushing into the long doors as they know it can be a death trap. They'd rather save their utility forward into the next round. And now we have an opportunity to talk about our partners over at Hellcase. If you use the promo codes MaltaV and MaltaV15, you can save more and grab what you deserve.
Exactly that. And with that, we have ourselves a good little tactical pause coming in. It is definitely needed for both teams. Level Up, of course, need to continue their streak. And PACT, they are probably going to... they are forcing up behind it. They need to do some economy management. Who's going to get what utility, and whatnot. Who's going to be sacrificed for the greater good. I mean, it is pretty much Sobol and Goofy doing everything for the side of PACT so far. And they should have all of the weapons that they desire. I mean, he's going to be picking up that op again. I would rather suggest you do not give him another Tech 9. Any other pistol, but just don't give him that Tech 9 again.
Deagle might be the better option there for Maniz as he still has that signature AWP available, but Goofy's the only man holding A long this round. They've rather instead preferred to commit towards short from the CT side at this point in time, and that's mean no opening kills found for Level Up, and Impulse is just tagged down to 31. Deagle in the hands of Lunatic to hold mid, but he's smoked off at the moment, and this Molotov should force Maniz to depart as well. So Level Up are expending their utility effectively at the moment and taking decent control of this map.
Maniz does have a nice little angle to see if he can find a head to chop down. But does he expect the play to be that close? He did spot a player towards short, and Necrogenesis, they played a nice little bait and switch on the side of Level Up, rushing towards the A side, which has now been forfeited. However, they're all on short, and this is a very hard position to hold from the CT, from the T's, if you plant the bomb and have to retake a short, pretty much defend a retake from only the short position. They know exactly where you're hiding. There's going to be a jump up from Sobol. Does not get the kill, but towards the smoke, it's going to be Avian shut down. 3 versus 3, very doable right now. But Sobol runs out of bullets. Lunatic with the Deagle in hand. And the time is ticking down. There is an op on site. There's going to be aggressive movement coming forward, but should not get much done. Whiffs the shot as well on Impulse, and Impulse shuts him down. 3 rounds now for Level Up, and PACT, they have no money left.
They really don't. They need to start saving on this CT side. The cost of those double AWPs truly revealing themselves now, and if Level Up can convert these 3 rounds into a hefty streak on the T side, try to get some momentum built up here, that's very dangerous for PACT. They would not want to be in a map disadvantage heading into Level Up's strongest map of the pool. Necrogenesis on short has dodged the HEs, but D has not. Sobol finds kills, but Dimka does well to reply with 3 there. Arguably bails his side out of the round as Darko is left with a Deagle now to try and recover things.
Yeah, that was a very nice attempt right there from PACT. I mean, it did a lot of damage. Unfortunately, you did not have... Like, if you have upgraded, you have armor plus a P250, you definitely have a very solid shot there. But with the aim punch coming through the moment a bullet connects, you can't really connect a single shot afterwards. Darko's just going to take his consolidation prize in the AK and save it towards T-spawn, which should be an easy save nonetheless.
1 AK brought forward by PACT into the next one, but it's only a 1-round difference now between these 2 squads at the moment, and they are both fighting to stave off elimination. both showing that they are definitely not ready to go quietly into the night. A very nice one tap from Darko down mid, but it's going to mean very little in the grand scheme of things here, as they now need to deny the tied scoreline potential from Level Up in this following gun round. Number 10 could be a swing factor throughout the half, as well as after this there are only 5 more rounds remaining, and PACT, if they lose control of their economy now, that's the door swung wide open for Level Up to walk in.
Yeah, they need to make it work. Moniz needs to step up with the op. He's had it for like 4 rounds now, and only 2 kills in total. Bottom fragging on his team. They can't really let Sobel and Goofy carry them throughout the rest of the series. They need the rest of the players to wake up as well. On the side of Level Up, D, same problem. He's only on 1 kill, but this is I mean, we're still early rounds in. They still need to wake up and get rid of those shivers after their crushing defeats in the last series for both teams. So this will be a very crucial round indeed. As you said, economy does play a factor. Level Up do still have plenty of money, though, even if they lose this one, possibly even the next one. Whereas PACT, they are close to broke. Flash coming out, Sobol versus Necrogenesis. The smoke comes out, so Necrogenesis is safe towards long. Well, safe as safe can be. Big nade onto his face. And they will just walk closer and try to spray him down through the smoke. He's completely stuck, needs backup from his teammates. Might as well just use the last little bit of utility you have to try and get yourself back. But they actually smoke him off so he can fall back towards T. They are pushing towards the B side though. Great flash coming out. Darko gets himself a double, but they will open up that B side completely in favor of Level Up. With the damage dealt, Necrogenesis is actually getting chopped up in mid. It is doable. Moniz on that op gets himself another kill in favor of PACT, and now a 3 versus 2 retake situation, with no utility left on Level Up and 1 flash for PACT, which is going to get thrown out right now. He does not get completely blinded, but only gets 1 kill, doesn't fall back in time. Impulse behind Cubby will get shut down, and that B site right there in the big B will be recovered by PACT.
Necrogenesis, it's actually really smart play early on in the round. He sticks around in A long for ages, keeping those 2 players committed. And if you have 2 players deep long, you need somebody watching short as well. That's guaranteed that the B bomb site has a maximum of 2 players defending it, and Level Up think they can try and exploit the numbers game. They do in order to get the plant. However, Necrogenesis going down in the mid peak left them then in a 2-on-3, and when the Orc was not able to convert more than 1 shot, Sobol was quite comfortably able to clean up the B bomb side at that point. This time it's quickly out A long from Level Up, and it's being shut down now by the Polish squad. Sobol, his rifle starting to stick out again in round number 11, and instead of Level Up taking control of the T side, it's PACT recapturing their defensive prowess.
That was a very quick shutdown towards the A long situation. They still have a possible weak buy on Level Up, but it's probably going to be something along the lines of a couple of deagles, a little bit of armor, and some utility. Maybe go for a mid to B split. It's probably your best bet at the moment. That round was it was a straight up disaster, unfortunately, for Level Up. It is going to be Necrogenesis with that Deagle trying to get the shot in, but loses about half HP to the Molly.
It's a real gamble play, and unfortunately for Necrogenesis, it does not work out in this round. Down mid are the majority of the Level Up players, as they are looking to explode out into the awaiting rifles of Sobol and Lunatic. They try and overwhelm the AWPer. They expect the close-range rifler, but he's still able to get a kill. Smokes off those doors now as well, and that's going to force Level Up to A short.
Yep, it's going to be an A execute, all from the short position. They do have an AWPer in Moniz down below and Sobol to try and hold this push off. The utility is lackluster, to say the least. Triple flash is available to get them off the angle. Moniz gets blinded by the first. Misses the op shot, but Sobol gets a double. Triple. And last tap to finish the job. Gets himself the ace to win his team the round. 22-4 on Sobol. Going big this series.
Huge in the first half. He maybe has an opportunity to 30 bomb before the half is over. Let's have a look and see what he can do in the remaining 3 rounds. That would be a dominant performance early on, and a necessarily dominant performance as well. Both Lunatic and Maniz are these players picking up the double AWP setup, and both of them are below 5 kills at the moment. Now, for Lunatic, he might be able to understand that as perhaps just a secondary player. He's not used to the sniper, but Maniz, he's supposed to be your star AWP player right now. Goofy, though, he's aggressive, and it's actually Sobol who finds one of those 2 kills, starting off the opening game. Absolute insanity from PACT on the defense, and they just don't let LVLUP have any room to maneuver. Maniz aggressive, does find a late round kill, and LVLUP now, they look lost on their T side.
That is some really greedy aggression coming out from Maniz. I do love it. I do love just, you know, it shows so much confidence if you go for that aggressive peak. It's going to be Lunatic shutting down AVN as well. And the last man standing is Impulse. They know he's there because they just heard the molly burn. Gets headshotted down to 49 HP. Nothing really he can do that much. He's even getting spammed through the door to just shut him down. And yeah, Impulse. I mean, you could try to save the op, but it's still 50 seconds until the round is over.
Yeah, he is going to try and bail away towards the B-bomb site. It looks like try to preserve that AWP going forward, and PACT don't really have the mind to go hunting here. While they do have cash available, surviving with all 5, way more valuable than taking down a single AWP, which is probably just going to be supporting pistols in the next round anyway. It's more likely that you'll be able to take out that sniper rifle as it advances as a gelled part of a more tactical unit in the upcoming round. But PACT have a firm opportunity to secure double digits in this half. They've got 9, a bare minimum on the CT side of Dust 2. Should they look ahead for the remaining 2 in the half, it would be a very dominant early performance indeed.
Yeah, 9-4. It's not too bad, especially because they still have to go to the T side as well. It's kind of surprising that Sobol got that first kill from like miles away to save out his buddy there. 5 rounds difference. The money situation on LVLUP is pretty much disastrous. Impulse actually fully bought up into this round, so he needs to make this op do some work because his team is in desperate need of a hero play again. It looked like they were about to even out the score, and they just got annihilated afterwards.
Close range AWP has actually missed its shot. Lunatic now has to back away, but Sobol, the man of the hour, is here to help defend, and he's taken down Necrogenialist. Completely blind, he'll fall back, but he's on 24 frags, and nobody else wants to run into him to make it 25. Instead, LVLUP would rather push up a short and take some nade damage in the process. As Sobol, he can just back away and be part of this late round defense.
It's looking like they want to go for another short push. Big nade coming through is not going to kill off D, who of course was terrified once it flew over his head with that 13 HP to his name. And PACT are just going to hold the angles, wait for the push to come in. They know that the utility must be running dry on the side of LVLUP. They don't have the weaponry or the firepower to try and brute force their way in, especially against this op from Maniz. Well, I'm saying that they definitely have a shot against the op of Maniz. This time, however, he will not miss the shot. The second flash comes in and pushes him off the angle. Sobol on site, though, does not get cleared out and will end the half with 26 frags. 26 in 14 rounds. Sorry, this is not even the last. Wow, he actually does have a chance to ace this at 30 bomb.
This half can get more dominant even from PACT. That's the really sad part for the LVLUP squad here, is the double AWPs. They've not even been doing the work. Let's be real. They've had 10 kills only. That's less than half of what Sobol's had on his own. That is ridiculous. Imagine you bringing 2 AWPs forward as your standard CT buy here on Dust 2. But there's one man on one AK just outclassing the pair of you, making you look like fools. At least he's on your team. That's what the PACT players are thinking. It's been a dominant half from Sobol.
And he's continuing it as well. Lunatic gets the off shot onto Dimki. Peeks out wide, but B site has been gifted. Darko will get a 1-for-1 trade, but shut down as well. And now it's Sobol spraying through the doors. Gets a lot of damage tags coming through, but it is going to be another retake situation. This time, however, they do have 2 mollies on the side of PACT, so they can definitely flush out like half the B site with those mollies and make sure that they can peek certain angles. AVN is playing close range. Impulse actually gets rid of Goofy, and the molly will hold them off from the push as well. And yeah, this is actually problematic right now for PACT. Peek out wide, great flash coming in. Unfortunately, does not get the double spray connection, and AVN is going to get himself 4. Actually, he got 4 in that round, and previously only had 3 kills to his name. So
wow.
that is well, more than doubling up on his score in that last crucial round.
27 kills from Sobol in 1 half. That is disgusting. Might want to go even and check his PC just to be sure. I haven't seen anything suspicious from my POV, but with those kind of numbers, you never know. That is a disgusting performance, and it's really swung the odds way back in PACT's favor from our partners over there at LootBet. If you were one of the people who took advantage of that 3.0 statistic at the start of this map, I bet you're laughing your head off right now.
That is what we're saying right now, but you never know what might happen on the level up CT side. Of course, they do have some star power on their side as well that just needs to wake up, and maybe that last round did help AVN to get his glory going. Will not spot out Maniz pushing through mid. It is going to be a decent amount of utility on the side of PACT, so they definitely can go for a execute towards A or maybe a mid cross, but it does seem they prefer the execute towards A. And AVN, quick tap, 1 bullet, Lunatic falls back to safety, and a man advantage for level up.
That's why the position is known as a one and done, 1 tap and then flee from the angle. And now PACT are going to have to try and crack into this defended A bomb site. The USBs are still ringing out shots at the moment though, but instead it's Sobol to find the next kill of the round. Of course it is in the pistol. His teammates are falling, but at least he's planted the bomb now. He has a Glock in hand, but he could get overwhelmed at close range by these USPs. He is taken down, and now it's all on Maniz as Darko has fallen. The P250 at range usually has success, but not against 4 USPs. PACT, they won't be able to win the pistol, and level up. They pick up their 6th. There probably will be a force fire coming through now, though. And with the bomb plant, PACT might have some decent weaponry.
Yeah, personally, I'd probably just go for like an eco and then have a full-on executable by next round. But of course, no team ever does that anymore. They want to just return it immediately. I prefer just having the AKs, especially on a long-range 1-tap map like this, where I've seen a lot of people shine. Avian did get 3 kills in that last round as well. So in 2 rounds, he's got 7 kills. Whereas previous, in like almost the entirety of the first half, he had 3.
Definitely starting to wake up in the later stages of these maps. And I agree with you. If you eco in this round, there's a likelihood that level up are going to be bonusing, or they can't get everything they want. D's going to have a scout. There are 2 FAMASs on the board, right? If you eco into this round and you don't kill any level up players, those weapons are going to be up in the next round, except you're going to have AKs and utility instead of the Galils that you've got available at the moment. Could potentially be a more advantageous situation to walk into. Impulse peeking mid, though, has won the engagement against Darko, and we know Level Up are a CT-sided team on Dust 2. Perhaps we're seeing why now. AVN opening up with more shots here on this A bomb site. The rifles are struggling to get in at the moment for PACT, and for now, Level Up are holding on.
Yeah, there's not a single body of Level Up that dropped to the floor. D even chimes in with a kill. Goofy on site. We'll get rid of AVN, so that's finally a kill, but he will not get the piece to plant this. Will not even get a second kill, and that is going to be a pretty easy shutdown for Level Up. And that's going to put PACT on a full eco with a buy round into the round afterwards. They won't be picking up an op either because they did not save any money on any of their players. I mean, not that the ops really mattered on their CT side anyway, so I don't think it's going to matter too much on their T side.
And having a hard man carry like this from PACT is actually very dangerous. It's much more difficult for him to have as much impact on the T side of things. You basically have to have Sobol in a trade fragging position, but he's already eaten tons of utility in this round, so the likelihood he gets much done even with the Glock was already low. But my point more is on the CT side, Sobol, he's part of crossfires. He is holding angles, waiting for players to walk into him and getting aggressive on his terms. When you're on the T side, a lot of the times you have to peek into these players. That's the only reason you're doing it, because there's no time remaining and you need to go and get a bomb plant. And that's going to put Sobol in some more disadvantageous positions and means that as an individual, he's probably going to have less impact in this half. PACT, they need more fraggers to come online, and they need it soon, as LVLUP look as though they're only going to be 2 rounds away from their opponents.
Yeah, it does seem like a nice shutdown from LVLUP in this one as well. Don't really think it should be that problematic. AVN, he's getting himself some nice eco frags, 14-14, so caught up to his death score so far, and this is LVLUP getting very close to evening out this first map. Of course, we did talk about the fact that PACT really want to take this series 2-0 because LVLUP is a very dangerous squad to beat, to try and face off against on Train, where they have a very solid T side as well as a very decent CT side. So PACT want to try and take this in too, and this is not the way that you do it. They need to start waking up. Maniz is actually going to go for the glass cannon op. I mean, his opping has just not been what you expect pretty much from an opper if he's had it that many rounds. Lunatic pushes out towards a long, but will fall back immediately the moment that he spots a second player peeking him. And yeah, with that, some utility expended, but no real damage has been dealt.
Flash through the mid doors to allow Darko just some minor vision for the moment. He's not going to go any further than the initial spot. And AVN's up on 15 kills now. He's really performing well. You've done well to highlight him as a performer, because you mentioned it already. He only had 3 at the end of round number 14. And in the last few, he's really come into his own. Meanwhile, the PACT side, they look very different on their T side. Look how slow this execution is compared to how aggressively they were taking gunfights on the CT side of things. They still have a lot of utility to work with, but it's a much slower pace.
Molly's coming in to try and flush out that A site. Gives him a little bit of a clean advantage. Darko jumps towards CT. Will get taken out by AVN. It was actually a B split coming through. But AVN, he's now stuck. Flash comes out. He's going to peek out wide. The Lunatic does expected. Necrogenesis swaps his weapon. Op shot from Maniz does rain through, but there's a player that pushed through mid. And now it's all on Maniz and Sobol, but they are down to 30 HP combined. That nade is going to be just enough to get rid of Sobol, and it's a 1-on-1 D with 100 HP versus Maniz on 23. So one bullet from either of the two needs to connect pretty much to kill the opponent.
And Maniz goes aggressive, expecting D to be in the window, and that allows LVLUP to recover. That was a round they should have won, but they very nearly threw away. They fell for that classic tactic of trying to overextend and mop up a particular area of the map, and then just leaving your cover and leaving yourself exposed to the remaining T-side players. It very nearly went back in PACT's favor there, but D does very well to hold on. Now LVLUP have a great opportunity to tie up the scoreline at 10-10 and really make PACT think about their efforts here on Dust 2.
Yeah, this is a problematic one. There's going to be a quick rush towards the B side. Tech9 does reign supreme. Goofy gets a nice Tech9 kill as well, and Maniz towards short just gets killed. And that is going to be a 3-on-3 retake. However, the weaponry on LVLUP is pretty good. Their utility is pretty much pristine. But Sobol, with a big flank coming in, might get himself that 30 bomb quicker than expected. Will they expect a player to come in from behind? Luckily, unfortunately, he only has a P250 though, but he's going to tap away, gets rid of D, and that's going to be the distraction they need to chime in. Dimkey is the last man standing. 1 versus 2. Bomb is ticking down. Can't really go for the play anymore. And with that one move from Sobol, he turns the round upside down, inside out. And wins his team the round.
All of PACT, actually no one in the server survives at the end of that one, but it's PACT who claim victory. And Sobol secures his 30 bomb with that P250, and this may be a minor weakness in the level up defense that we haven't quite seen yet. The B bomb site overwhelmed at pace. They didn't look ready. They didn't expect the push through the Molotov, and that is the benefit of the pistols. You can just run through it at increased speed. They're going to be deploying smokes towards A long in this round, but D is here to try and defend. They haven't taken him down yet either. He keeps peeking up with no help, and eventually it arrives too late. Goofy trades down his teammate, but Dimka is playing around this smoke like an absolute hero. Finds two back on his own and brings it to the 3-on-3.
Yeah, that was a play that they definitely needed. Even the HP values between the two teams is pretty much even. That Molly, however, isn't going to spread. Oh, a smoke coming in. So that's at least going to give away that there was a player over there. Don't know if he, of course, crossed because no one is holding the angle. But he is going to stay towards that truck. Try and use that smoke. Okay, he's going to just fall back before he gets flushed out completely. B site has been left open. The timing that they're using right now, PACT is just playing with the time completely. So that level up get anxious. They get, you know, scared of any moves that PACT might make. And it's all on impulse on that A site to try and solo defend it if they're going to go for the push. It does seem like they are going to head out. Scout shot comes in, gets attacked through the box, but Maniz does get rid of Impulse's head. They're going to double smoke the cross. Nope, there. Okay, there's... The double smoke did not really work that well. Sobol does manage to get onto site, though, and has the bomb in hand, which he can plant. Unless Dimki goes for a Kukli-style jump to shut him down. But yeah, Maniz is still towards Struck, gets himself a double because there's one gap in the smoke and they both peek into it.
PACT's come alive at the right time. They deny the tied scoreline to level up, and now the CT side, they are down on the pistols in the dumps of their economy. And PACT have an opportunity to convert the 13-9 scoreline on the T side of Dust 2. That works very well for them indeed. Now, no investment really from Level Up at all, as they basically give this round away.
Yeah, it's pretty shoddy buy at best and Level Up. It should just be free eco frags. Goofy gets 2, Darko gets 1. Sobol actually wanted these because he was looking for that 40 bomb, of course, but... oh, there's the kill onto D, and the last man standing. Dimki does shut down Goofy, so at least they make it a decent amount of... yeah, it's pretty expensive, actually, here for the side of PACT with the investment spent from Level Up. Their money is not in that great of a situation either.
Dimka peeks around the corner, but Sobol picks up a double on to 32 now as he is chasing down 40 in regulation time. It would be a huge effort for him to try and do it, and maybe he's hoping Level Up start winning some rounds just so that he has more time on the runway. I think he'd definitely prefer having a quick conversion of their own map pick here, as PACT looked like they were in trouble for an extended period at the beginning of their T side. Stabilizing now, they need to finish the job. They can't allow Level Up back in at this stage of the game because it's not a completely lost scoreline for the Serbians.
No, it's definitely recoverable. We've seen them do it in the past, multiple rounds in a row. Maniz did get tagged down pretty low. D on 1 SMG, the rest on full rifles, but they are lacking in kits, so they need to win this round before it becomes a retake scenario. Of course, Flash comes in towards mid, swaps away from his M4, but there's going to be the aggressive push from AVN. This is a quick attempted shutdown. I mean, the two-player push from short was great, but then the two-player peek from mid got shut down. So with that, Sobol opens up the B side. Who else but Sobol? And without a kit, if the bomb is planted in time, that should be a save call for Level Up. I mean, you don't want to, but you kind of, yeah, you have to. You're not getting into that B side. No kit. They have 1 smoke, 2 flag. They're going to attempt it, but they need to go big on that op on D as well. And close range opping on this site with all the angles that you need to check is going to be very tough indeed. Lunatic is holding Sobol's Heaven, yeah, they have perfect post-plant positions coming in.
They were just hoping to see if anybody got over aggressive, if any utility got deployed, if any information was given away at all. But unfortunately, it was not. So it's 14-9 now that PACT lead the scoreline by. They're looking now for map point on their pick, and Level Up saving these rifles means at least they're going to be a part of their next flight. They should be up on max loss bonus now, so D can drop an M4, and he has utility available for himself already, so that's a comfortable investment on his end. Level Up are going to be getting the rifles out again, but PACT now with an opportunity to close out their pick convincingly.
They do have the op saved into the next round, so that's a you know, a nice little save indeed. D is going to be running that op and see if he can get anything going. They have, I mean, I haven't seen that many op duels so far, but it's going to be heavy committal towards that A-long position with Darko stuck in the corner. Does need help from his teammates. There's a CT player for defense coming in, but they don't expect the second player in pit. Goofy gets the kill onto Dimki though, and now it's all on AVN to try and hold this off. Gets a little bit of support coming in from D towards long, but look at that on short. It is, of course, so well. You have to be careful, D. How are you going to try and defend this? The Molly actually flushes him out of CT as well. Oh, no, wait, that was on top? Oh, I thought it was a drop Molly towards CT. Never mind. Don't mind me. But the cross is going to come in. They do have a gap in the smoke, and they're going to try and jump it. Maybe even go for the bomb throw. Yeah, he's going to throw the bomb so that Sobol onside can pick it up and get the bomb plant in.
Does work out. Means the free plant can come through. They don't have to peek into that CT AWP. And now instead it's D who has to reaggress here. They want the denial, but there's no cash in the bank for the next round either. This could be really horrific for the Level Up squad unless they can pull off the miraculous retake. Necrogenesis down low is taken down by Sobol. He's only found one so far in the round, but it's enough as D falls away with his AWP. He is still below 10 kills so far in this map in total. He's going to have to bail out to the B-bomb site, and now the PACT squad gets 6 consecutive opportunities to pick up a map advantage at the start of this series.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, at this point, it's very tough to overcome for Level Up. They really need this op to make work. They need, I mean, both sides have just not had an opper awake so far. Avian has completely woken up on their CT side, but he's the only one that really does chime in for these kills on that A defense. So far, not so good for Level Up. They haven't gotten rid of their shutters of that previous series against, what was it again?
Arvez.
No, the other one.
Oh,
Movistar
Riders. Sorry, yeah.
Avian does get rid of Minis though, but they're going to continue to push in. That's going to be a kill onto Avian. Impulse close range, nice double. Peaks wide, but Lunatic wins that straight duel, and it is now Sobol on that A short. He hears all the steps coming through. He's going to drop towards CT. Spray 1. Damage on second. Gets a double. And it is now a 2 versus 1 situation. All of a sudden, Sobol. I mean, Maniz tried it previously with a P250, but Sobol does it perfectly with the AK.
Necrogenesis still thinks there's somebody pushing the B-bomb site. He has no idea just yet that the teammate has rotated around, but the bomb doesn't even have to go down. That is so ridiculous from Sobol. 26 rounds played and 37 kills found by the Polish rifler. That is absolutely insane impact at the start of this map.
Yeah, that is 37 kills, 25 rounds. That is an amazing... Those are simple numbers right there.
They certainly are.
Absolutely massive from the side of PACT. They really needed a player to step it up. The oppers have been a little, on both sides, lackluster in this series so far, but... yeah, I am pretty impressive with PACT's performance after that dreadful first map.
It almost looked as though they may lose control of Dust 2 as well, as LVLUP did come within one round, but then PACT started a streak from which no one could return. The logos are the wrong way around there, but now the statistics are about to come through properly on this right-hand side. We can talk about AVN, though, the top player for LVLUP. He didn't have very many kills in that first half. Up till round number 14, I think you highlighted, he only had 3. And while the stats on the right-hand side of the screen are incorrect, here we go from Sobol. 37 and 10, 15 headshots in there as well. Absolute madman with a 3.7 KD.
Yeah, completely annihilated LVLUP, and that is a player you need to keep an eye on. Let's see if he can continue that streak into the next map after these quick messages.
Hello and welcome back to Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. In our best of three elimination matchup between PACT and LVLUP, it looked like it was going to be dominant from PACT, and then when the sides swapped, there was a minor resurgence from the Serbians, perhaps enough to tie up the scoreline, but at the last opportunity, PACT engaged in a mental round streak and closed out Dust 2 16-9. Now we head over onto LVLUP's pick of the series to determine whether or not they have the strength to stay alive in this tournament. My name is Protalis, and joining me to bring you through this one is DK Truman. How are you doing?
Hot. Luckily, it's raining outside right now, so everything's cooling down nicely. But it's gonna heat up soon enough on Inferno, of course, a map that LVLUP chose. It is their highest win rate map, and they do feel very comfortable on it. However, they did just lose against Movie Star Riders on it, 16-8. So there is still a little bit of a hurt on that map going on right now. I would still say that LVLUP have a solid chance at taking that second map, even with that previous loss. What are your thoughts on this second map?
I think that there is definitely a chance for PACT to perform here on Inferno. They don't have terrible statistics on the map, but my issue is that this is the best in the pool for the LVLUP squad here, and they did show signs of strength when they swapped over to the defensive side of that map. It does look as though it should be an interesting one, all things considered. PACT haven't played a HLTV official matchup on Inferno since late July, which indicates to me this is a map they try and avoid.
Yeah, but even if they try and avoid it, their win rate on it is still 50-50 after 12 maps. It's not that bad of a scoreline, all things considered, and they should still be able to, you still scrim it, you still should be able to feel comfortable on the map. It is a very even, I would say, as well. T side can definitely over the stronger the team is, the better the T side advantage is on a map like Inferno. It's mainly because of you can completely shut down B side, for instance, with good mollies. If you have the actual perfect setup, you can immediately flush out the entire site, and they cannot do a single thing to defend it. But you've got that strat, you've got the quick rush B strat, you've got A actually tends to be less favored, but there's still, a lot of sneaky plays, a lot of lurking around A. Your teammates make sounds to B, one person rotates, you hold that rotator spot, snap and down, rotations are cut off, and then you can just pounce on that B side completely. And also one of the maps that does tend to use a lot of baits. Compared to most other maps, the smoke bait on Inferno is pretty massive, where you throw a couple of smokes because you cross off the B site to CT. They have no vision. You throw it another smoke, 2 flashes. They have no idea what's going on. They call the rotates at 30 seconds in, and you just rush to the A site. No one is there. Easiest plant of your life, and then you play the retake situation. And that is why Inferno is also very entertaining to watch. It's not a heavy op battle map. It's actually one of the weakest op maps out there. There are a couple of corridors that long range parts that really work, but most of it is short range, heavy rifle engagements. And with that, we're heading off to the knife round. Of course, it doesn't really matter on this map how much what team really wins the knife round. What do you think, Protalis?
I think that PACT have a bit of a double-edged sword heading into this map. They obviously have Sobol, who went crazy over there on Dust 2. 37 kills for him in regulation time. He nearly dropped a 30 bomb in the first half alone. It was absolutely ridiculous. So if he is able to come online again on Inferno, this could be a very quick series indeed. But the problem, though, the converse, the flip side of that issue is that the AWPers were looking very weak indeed. Maniz and Lunatic picking up the double AWP setup throughout that map of Dust 2 and barely ever finding frags with the sniper rifles. They had less than half of Sobol's kills combined on those 2 AWPs, and that could be a problem on Inferno. Even though it's not an AWPer-centric map per se, that not having that sniper rifle available on the CT side to great effect could still be felt heavily by the Polish squad.
Definitely is an opportunity, of course, on this map. You've got the quick apps peak, which is very, very risky. You've got the banana hold, and you've got the quick mid peak, which is also reasonably risky. You know, you could go aggressive mid, look towards a second mid, but I mean, that's pretty much it. You've got those 3 areas to deal with. Yes, it's like half the map, but you can definitely do it without an op on this map, because there's so many close corridors, and you can definitely get flushed out by utility easily.
Well, now the odds from our partners over at LVLUP are coming through, and this is quite interesting, actually, from my perspective. They are favoring PACT on this map compared to LVLUP. Now, bear in mind, we saw 3.1 odds for PACT at the start of Dust 2. I'm probably going to say I disagree with LVLUP again here.
Yeah, this seems like another good value bet for LVLUP right now. They have the, well, map advantage in percentages, at least. They are going to be starting on that CT side, which honestly, they did look a little bit better on their Dust 2 CT side than their T side. So I definitely do think that there's a solid opportunity here. Goofy, long range stab fight, has the Glock though. Not the greatest weapon for those big taps, but B side is sort of clear. There's one player towards B and AVN, but they are going to try and make that cross. Plant the bomb at least. And we'll be going for that retake defense fight. It's going to be 4 players pushing from the CT angle, and Sobol is going to scout out. Doesn't spot a single player towards Banana, and it's going to be him all on his lonesome. A smoke in hand for Avian, so he can even get smoked off. And they have a kit on them, so he should immediately get annihilated. And it happens. Dimki shuts him down, and that's the first round of this map for LVLUP.
And this really is a strong map for LVLUP as well. Yes, they lost 16-8 against the Movistar Riders earlier on today, but that put an end to a hefty streak of wins. 7 consecutively for LVLUP on the map of Inferno before they fell to the Movistar Riders today. And there are some significant names in that mix as well. They even managed to overcome Arvez 16-3 on this map in late July. And they were the team who dismantled PACT at the start of this series. So if LVLUP wanted a chance to come back into this series, they wouldn't get a much better one than Inferno.
Definitely so. It is... I mean, it's their bread and butter. Of course, Movistar Riders is arguably the better squad, so they just outdone him in that regard. They just have superior players in their lineup altogether. It is a very defensive setup on the side of LVLUP. D is going to peek towards Banana, but towards A site, they're just giving away the entirety of the site. They're probably banking on the fact that they don't have solid utility here. Bomb gets dropped. Flash comes in to try and re-peek. D gets himself a second, swaps to the USB. Will get himself Maniz as well, but will not shut down the entire push. And it is Sobol, who else but Sobol, getting a kill towards the A site at least. But that was a full eco, pretty much. Couple of upgraded pistols for the side of PACT because they're going to go for the full buy now. AKs aplenty, and they will have the weapon advantage because of it.
Indeed, they will. We'll have to see whether they'll be able to use those weapons to convert themselves an opening round. Impulse only on the scout, but actually LVLUP don't try for a bonus in this one. They'd rather keep M4s on the board instead to contest that active firepower, and it's definitely the right call in this one as they're up against a full complement of AKs, trading utility down Banana, but none of it deals any damage at the moment, just money going to waste as Darko is going to have the first peek over. Can't punish that jump from Dinka too badly. He's now taking more nade damage here and might need his team to bail him out.
Yeah, he's completely suddenly re-smoke it as well, but he does win the fight against Dimki. And that's a man advantage. Nate flies in as well. They get themselves a second, and the last man standing, D, he's up against a player with 6 HP and another one with 19. So one bullet could shut them both down. And Sobol towards that A site will at least get a kill onto Necrogenesis, but they're going to push Banana, and it is going to be D. He's holding the line, just like in the previous round. They need to get rid of him, but there's the peak might drop the bomb, and Knees now has to do it all for his team and will win that fight, but that was unfortunate for D. Maniz will go for the bomb plant. 10 HP left. Nade on his face. Boom goes the dynamite. Kobe has been called, and PACT will lose this round nonetheless. AVN even showing off his knife skills.
That's a really dire one for PACT. They find the double entry, but those low HP players, they stay too aggressive in Banana. I can understand that you're waiting for that third player to swing round, but as soon as one goes in isolated here, it's all over immediately. If they can't defend, there's no reason for Lunatic to swing out at all. He has no HP and he has the bomb on his back. Why is he taking that engagement? He assumes his opponent is turned around, and it allows LVLUP to take back control of that one in kind. Bear in mind, they found an entry over towards the A side of the map. They would have had a much better opportunity and much better angles to wrap around on that site, but they tunneled in on B and allowed D to basically tear them to pieces.
Yeah, Sobol did also get another player towards that A side, so kept the player all the way there, distracted as well. Darko is going to get taken out by Dimkey, and the Molly's coming flying in from LVLUP. Dimkey re-peaks, no trouble at all coming in for him. Another Molly coming out. They didn't just drop the smoke, so they kind of have to push forward behind this. They only have one smoke left on the T side on top of it all. And it is going to be Sobol again towards that A side. This time he does not win a single duel in his favor, but the rest of his team is jumping in as well. It's going to be a 2-on-2 for the time being. Actually, you do have Necrogenesis rotating through towards Long, gets taken out. But look at that. The flank already set in by D, getting aggressive towards Banana. And they're completely positioned perfectly on LVLUP to try and hold this off. Impulse with that op. Spots a player going towards Library. Misses 2 shots though. And PACT are kind of stuck right now. They want to fall back, but if they shut down D, they could go. Nah, they can't really go for it anymore. Time's up. D gets himself a double, and D stepping up to the plate. 8 kills so far in 4 rounds.
Going big at the moment on Inferno, and PACT are yet to get anything done on the T side of this map. But the same was actually the case over on Dust 2. They struggled a little bit in the first 4 rounds to try and make moves on that map, but it's already been for PACT here on Inferno, and they still have not been able to convert a T-sided effort. So they'll bring pistols and armor forward, trying to preserve their economy and look to take advantage here of their speed.
Yeah, it's going to be a straight up B rushing forward. The smokes get used to extinguish the mollies. D will go for the big spray down. Nade comes flying in. D gets closer, but will get shut down. It's going to be still a nice 3-man advantage coming in from LVLUP, and the last one standing. Sobol will at least get a kill to his name because he needs to catch up in the fact that he needs to start shining again like in that Dust 2. But this time LVLUP 5 rounds in their favor. No op picked up again by PACT. And well, Maniz is still only on 1 kill.
He's struggled throughout the last couple of maps, to be honest with you. He's not had an AWP available in this one, so I'm a bit tentative to criticize him immediately, but that is because his side have not had enough money available. They've not been winning very many gunfights, it does have to be said, and LVLUP, I think only 1 round so far has come down to a 1 versus 1 clutch, so their bank is starting to strengthen itself with Impulse over 5k as the AWPer. That's exactly what you want to hear, but Necrogenesis, his position is predicted and deleted by early HE grenades. That's prevented the active rotation over from the B site. Maniz has opened up for a kill, and Darko finding Dimka, that's left AVN totally alone.
He's going to go for the peak aggressive. He needs to make some space for himself. Will not find any, and that's Impulse. 1 versus 4 with the op. Save time is now, I doubt that they'll go for a hunt on the side of PACT. They might go for one if they expect to, you know, to try and secure that up, but it is going to be a little bit too greedy, especially with the amount of money they still have left in the bank. They need to save every possible penny.
And they should be able to do so at the end of this round as well. With 4 alive, it's a relatively easy conversion, but with Level Up keeping Impulse on the board, it's a relatively easy buy from them in the next round. Their utility isn't going to be perfect, but they're not going to be missing M4 A4s unless they choose to drop down for some additional nades. Impulse, he will even have enough cash in the bank to drop 2 M4s, I think, at the end of this round even. So really, they could have a decent buy heading forward into this one. Dimka, he's definitely going to need a drop, but maybe AVN and D don't even need extra rifles here. They will drop regardless, though, because they want to make sure everyone's economy is as flush as it can be, and this is an interesting call. D, he's got 9 frags so far, so they've put him on an AWP.
He definitely makes the call that he's feeling it, of course. It all can get shut down in half a second if he whiffs a shot. Does seem to go for that aggressive B peak, probably. I mean, he's been the linchpin at the B site in general. Big aggressive molly coming out. Should give the info that there's probably a player pushed in mid, and that was Impulse. He got a little bit cold feet right there, falls back, and now it's D going for the flick shot. Will not connect it, and will force D all the way back. But a quick execute could completely flush out this Level Up defense. The rotations from Level Up are miles away, and a good smoke flash push forward could completely annihilate this op position.
The double AWP setup could be read by PACT at the moment as well, as they did actually catch sight of Impulse as he was retreating into A. They're trying to walk through the smokes into the B bomb site, and so far it's working. Dimka's been taken down, and D's forced away by the Molotov. He needs to wait for his teammates, but even a 4-on-5 retake doesn't look like a scenario Level Up want to be contesting. They're already backing away and preserving these double AWPs into the next round. That's the right call, because 2 AWPs on the retake is never nice, especially at a close range site like B.
But in the meantime, you do have Maniz trying to drop some extra weapons. They're just going to hide on that A site. So I assume Maniz is just going to get annihilated the moment he peeks in any possible angle, because, well, they have some big guns ready and waiting for a peek to come through. AVN, I think he will get spotted out. Yeah, Maniz gets shut down. And that's the end of the hunt, pretty much, from PACT. They get themselves a second on the board. That is all that matters for now.
It is indeed. They have more buys to get through, but preserving these 4 rifles for Level Up has meant that they might just be able to get a couple of consecutive buys on the board. That's why they're having this conversation with Dimka, because they have 4 players up on weaponry, and while they do, we have the opportunity to talk about our partners over at Hellcase, who are the biggest and most well-known case opening website with almost 100 cases, the updated case battle, upgrader, dozens of giveaways per month, and tons more unique feature. My point, though, was more about on this Level Up squad that they have enough money just about to buy up in the next one if they don't invest at all here. But that means Dimka would have no weaponry to work with. So it looks like they are going to be dropping him an M4. That's why you've seen the $3,100 investment come out from Impulse. And instead, Level Up are going to pick up the utility in this round rather than save bonus cash for a buy in the next.
It is I mean, I kind of... Nah, I would have probably gone for the eco as well. I know it sounds weird, and you would be lacking in utility, but with your weapons, you should be able to possibly win it outright. If you lose this one, you're going to be pretty much forced out on an eco on the next in general. They are heavily stacking towards that A short position, though, on Level Up, and this is actually the perfect read if you see the positioning coming through from this PACT squad. They're all heading towards that A site. You have one player falling back, but this is just going to be a very quick push. AVN, he just holds the left mouse button, has no idea what was going on in the meantime. 3-for-3 trade coming in, but Sobol executes Necrogenesis, who just walks on site, doesn't expect anyone to peek anywhere, and it's now all on D with the big green, orange plus white stick right now to try and save this one into the next, because they just got obliterated on their push.
4-man stack in the A-bomb site. They still lose control. Level Up, that's not good news at all. It took PACT a little bit of time to wake up on their T side of Dust 2, but once they did, they weren't taking any mercy at that point. D is creeping in, and he's just recovered a kit. That's a bit of bonus utility. As he looks to walk away down mid, he would hear AKs should they peek in to try and take him down. I think they hear his scope as well, so decide to save their own weapons forward. D, the only man with an AWP available for the Level Up squad in this upcoming round. He can drop an M4 out should they want to buy, and I think that will be the case considering the gamble investment they went for in the last one.
Yeah, you really need to save this round so that you at least have a decent buy next. D also needs to make a play happen with that op. It was a nice round attempt, but Avian just got completely blinded towards balcony, so he just held left mouse button. See if anyone walks into his bullets. Unfortunately, no one wanted to headbutt any lead today. And it is going to be Dimkey solo towards that B site. Again, nice opening kill there for D. That's what they needed. Maniz gets shut down. The T-Opper loses his life. And that is, that is what they needed to at least give them a fighting chance this round.
The only upgraded weapon on the roster. It's found the opening kill, but it's not made the rotation. That means the pistols have to do the work on this B-bomb site. Against 3 incoming PACT players, it could be a bloodbath.
With the boost up there, if they smoke it out, Necrogenesis might be able to get himself a kill, which could put them at a decent advantage. Or they're just not going to smoke. Oh, they're going to... Necrogenesis gets naded right in the face as well. They expected the boost up, and they immediately clean out that site without any problems at all on the side of PACT. So this is going to be a quick bomb plant. Don't really think they should invest their op into this retake, but D might just look for a pick, which is going to be on a lunatic, and should fall back. You drop $3,700 at least, so that's already a big plus. But the flank coming in as well from Sobol gets shut down. They will even be able to save an AK into the next one. Great shot from AVN, who does look a little bit more awake than most players on this server.
Well, some bonus weaponry for Level Up to use in the next full buy, but they need to start winning rounds at this point. Otherwise, PACT are going to have tied up the scoreline on the T side, and they have a healthy bank as well available on this Polish squad. So bear in mind that they are the side looking to 2-0 this series. If they are able to put out a strong performance on the T side of Inferno, it certainly bodes well for them, as the early indications... Well, first of all, Inferno generally is a CT-sided squad, so you expect both sides to have the easier go of things on that side of the map, and the same is actually true for the CT side of PACT as well.
Yeah, so every round for PACT right now on the T side is pretty much a bonus, especially after being down 5-0. They have definitely started to wake up indeed, but the difference between this map, CT and T side, is normally like 7 to 8. If you manage to get 7 rounds on the T side, you're definitely happy, but you can quickly get annihilated as well. Luckily enough for PACT, we did see the T side of Level Up on Dust 2, which was pretty much abysmal, to say the least.
This round has started weirdly for PACT. They peaked D, but they can't take him down this time. They may struggle to convert the round as they have no banana control at all, and they leave their AWPer exposed to an aggressive peek from Dimka. Now they're going to wrap around to try and make their way into that B-bomb site, and Impulse has missed his first shot, so they might have space to work with at bare minimum. Smoke's gone down, but they're deploying smokes of their own. One of them has missed by the looks of things, and Impulse has as well missed his shot. Darko with the recovered AWP finds the headshot, but Dimka's here to stabilize the ship now. AK is in front of him, and they have eventually taken him down with a Molotov. Now it's a 2v2 scenario. Bomb has been planted. Necrogenesis with a HE, though, could take down Goofy.
That's if they know exactly what position he is in. It's a very weird round so far. Very aggressive jump coming through from both sides, and that is Lunatic chiming in to get rid of Necrogenesis. I mean, this was just weird. Like, you see them jumping around corners, jumping over coffins, and just jumping straight into the enemy's crosshairs, and they still managed to win the round on the side of PACT. Level Up, this is a disastrous round. Impulse has had that op multiple rounds and is only on 2 frags. Again, both oppers just not doing what their team needs them to do.
Really struggling, and the reason you see so much jumping in that last round is because they know they're walking into an AWP crosshair, so they're trying to make sure that when the bullets connect, they go through the legs rather than through the body, so that they can try and recover that into an eventually trade frag scenario. As it's a fairly default setup in this round for PACT. Surprisingly enough, the level up economy hasn't been broken with that last round loss, so they do have weapons available in this round. Sobol's found the opener, but Dimky's gotten Lunatic straight back. However, Darko has overwhelmed him on the B side. D is just about able to convert with the last bullet of his spray through smoke. He gives his team an advantage. However, the rotating AWP is back towards the B bomb site now, leaving Necrogenesis alone in pit with just a FAMAS to play with.
He luckily does have to deal with only a 6 HP player as well, but Goofy just straight up wins that duel, doesn't lose a shred of health. And now Impulse needs to be careful. He's going to peek out wide. Oh, the AK is right behind him as well. Impulse is probably going to lose that op again that he has held on for long enough pretty much. But Maniz gets the flank and almost whiffs the spray there while moving around. And D is the last man standing. Another round for PACT. Or is D actually going to go for it right now? Would be... I mean, it would be a hero play. Sobol's down to 6 HP. Maniz and Goofy do have max HP, though. But he has all his utility still left.
He's going to chuck the nade at bare minimum to try and deal chip damage, I think, and make sure the bomb takes down these players late. He suspects that there's a low HP player around, perhaps, and instead he's found a full HP player of Maniz in that library, but there's no time for him to commit to the defuse now, and he knows it. He's going to back away. Sobol can't hide away in the pit and survive now, so he actually knows they both have to aggress into him. He might just be able to clean up the rifles in the late round situation. Missed shot from Sobol, but Goofy can follow it up and take that weapon away. I'm not sure whether a buy is going to come through for Level Up here on the CT side. D has enough cash to work with, but the rest of the squad would be limited.
Probably a couple of upgraded pistols. D might actually choose to go for like a FAMAS or something to... because he still has... Or just go for the straight op and force up. Okay, that's... Okay. I mean, he is 16 kills in. He's the only one that has anything to say on their team right now. That's the way it works. Top fragger gets the final say. If he feels the op, he gets the op. And let's see if that op is going to pay off. Gets himself the opening kill. Will fall back towards the CT angle. And that is another round where Level Up start off with a man advantage, but will they be able to convert it into more?
They've peeked out and confirmed that the AWP is currently playing from CT, so it's repositioned, this time closer into the site. Flashes over may just blind it, though, if they're not careful here with this execution. D's missed the timing, so he's trying to flee and take a more defensive angle. His teammate's been overwhelmed, but that AWP is still alive. Not much longer, though, as Goofy rips his head off. And now it's 3 rifles defending the B-bomb site against 3 incoming CT deagles.
Yeah, I got a little bit dicey there. He gets 2 kills for himself, but he now needs the rest of his team to chime in with a couple more frags. They need those one taps to shut them down. There's going to be a molly towards Coffins. You can't hide there, guys. Oh, that's a great molly choice coming in. So much damage has been dealt to try and keep them off. Maniz misses another shot, and it misses a third one. I mean, okay, he does not get deagle down, but repeaking that one is just so risky at that point against the deagle. Luckily, Goofy will get rid of Dimkey before he gets too close to Maniz, and that is 7 on the board for PACT. They were 5-0 behind, now 7-5 in the lead. On the T side, completely steamrolling level up right now.
7 rounds is more than enough to call the T side overall a success here on Inferno as well. And you can tell Level Up are feeling the pain right now. They have to take out rifles, but this time it's an MP9 instead of an AWP, as D's forced up sniper does not work out for him. They should have a better opportunity in this round, at least than they did in the last. Maniz missing a shot definitely gives them a chance, but he now has to bail out of that one. They drop a nade in deep to prevent any further aggression, but this flash is going to predicate a banana push.
Yeah, this is definitely a aggressive flash, but there's D does shut down Darko, played the anti-flash. They might go for the repeak again, and the 3-man holds towards banana so far has been successful. There's going to be a push in. Goofy gets a double, one with the molly?
Onto his teammate.
On his teammate. Wait, he mollied his teammate? That's definitely impressive. And Sobol trying to make something work towards that A side. Of course, it's Sobol trying to go for those flanking sneaky plays. He's been doing it towards that A side every single round.
I think what happens there is Goofy misses the Molotov for behind sandbags. It then drops at their feet and kills his teammate who's being tagged down by the rifle damage. Upsetting start to the round, but they've fought back from worse scenarios in the past, and they've crept quite far into this A bomb site, actually, considering how few players they have left available. ABN taken down for free, but Sobol can't get Necrogenesis in the pit. That means Maniz's AWP is unlikely to have impact now on just 12 HP. He is so vulnerable. What are they going to decide to do? He drops a smoke on the A bomb site and has actually sold this potentially as D is rotating into deep CT. There's one smoke available to cover off his angle, and now he has a choice to make. He's going to go aggressive, and that's the right call completely. Gets them both and puts a 6th on the board for Level Up.
Yeah, nice round. D, 21 frags. What is this? This is all like it's Dust 2 all over again. Both teams having just one player going insane in one of these maps, and this time it's D chiming in with a double kill to win his team in that round. Finally they get another win, but 21-7, so many kills for this man. I mean, he's definitely going to be hitting that 30 bomb as well this map.
I mean, it's certainly the case. More than 20 kills in the first half. He needs half of his total score in the second in order to break that 30 target. So definitely the possibility on the cards. Impulse is going to rotate early towards B, and PACT, they have always initially favored this B bomb site. Ever since that one round, they had no banana control and Maniz was taken down. They've adapted well to making sure that Level Up struggle to fight for banana. At the very least, if their opponents do take control of it, they make it very costly indeed for them. But the goal here for Level Up is the same as it's always been. Draw players to the incorrect bomb site so that you can attack with a greater man advantage. The utility deployment towards A has sold a fake to Impulse as he's made his way around to Archside, but there's still a hefty defense in the B bomb site with an AWP and M4 ready to do work.
It is going to be a decent amount of utility flying in. New box is going to get mollied, smoked off immediately. That gives away position. They have one player behind a pillar, stuck completely. Molly on his feet, burning and dying all over the place. Dimky's going to get taken down as well. Luckily, Impulse does chime in with the M4. I mean, it didn't work with multiple rounds on the op, so he got the M4 instead. He's going to go aggressive, gets himself almost a double, but his team was absolutely nowhere ready to capitalize on that aggressive move, and it is now all on Necrogenesis. M4 in hand. I mean, it's pretty much safe territory again. No kit on him. They have a double op T setup right now for PACT. That's not something that you want to see most of the time. Yeah, Lunatic swapping back towards the AK. Actually, hasn't really decided what he wants to swap to, it seems, but Necrogenesis will get the kill on Lunatic. Not that it matters too much. I'm saying that, but they actually don't have that much money on PACT. They're actually kind of broke.
It's the last round of the first half, though, so it won't matter. And I think the reason Lunatic is going for that second guess is they don't want a double AWP setup in the next round, but then they realize it's the last round of the half, so pick the AWP up at bare minimum, buy an AK anyway, and then at least we can double peak with AWPs at the start of the round if necessary. PACT, with 8 in this half already, have done great work on the T side of Inferno against their opponents here. Level Up, this is supposed to be one of their strongest maps in the pool, and basically everybody other than D has gone missing at this point.
Darko just burns to a crisp. Not some nice man advantage, but a little bit of tapping through Banana is very dangerous here for the Level Up boys because they are weaker in weaponry. And Impulse almost peeks in too aggressively. That man needs to chill some of these rounds. I know that you're not fragging as well as you'd like, but he's getting a little bit too aggressive half of the time, and he's just getting shut down.
And PACT, they make a lot of noise around Banana, but now quickly are trying to wrap into the A-bomb site. Sobol, they're trying to spam him down, but he's actually made his way onto the site here. They know it's not safe to cross, but the bombs arrive. Somehow these defenders of the A-bomb site have just let the enemies through the gates. The bomb has arrived on the site. Venice has taken down Necrogenesis and D. Dimka falls now in the pit. The A-bomb site, those defenders did nothing and let the T's walk straight in.
Yeah, Sobel just smoked off pit, and they were both in pit, so it was the easiest push possible. You smoke off the only angle that they can look at you from, and with only 2 players defending that A site, it is round 9 for PACT. Don't forget, they started off as 5-0 behind, and they turned it around to get 9 rounds in their favor on the first half of this map. D, 22 kills. Look at that man. He's absolutely doing everything for his team. And the kills are not even that different between the 2 squads. It's just they're not able to finish these rounds off.
And now the odds from our partners over at LootBet, I agree more with. As PACT switching on to the CT side are firmer favourites than they were at the beginning, and perhaps they know a little bit more than I do today about the odds occurring. Perhaps they didn't on Dust 2, but on Inferno, certainly looking like they may be correct now. Level Up desperate to win this pistol. If they get it, there's a fairly decent chance that they'll be able to bring this back to a 9-9 scoreline. However, if they let it slip away to the PACT boys, it could be 12-6 before they know it.
Yep, and with that aggressive stack towards the B site of PACT, it might call for a retake situation soon enough. Sobol is again always the only one towards that A side from his team. Even if it's on the T or the CT side, he's going to go for the duel versus D, and he does tap his skull off. Flank coming in. Bomb dropped towards mid. Disaster occurs right now, and Sobel just needs to stay alive. This is going to be pretty tough. They don't have... I think he was actually setting up a smoke as well, so that was the only utility they had. And the Blender reigns supreme. Maniz does not get the last tap in, but Sobel peeks out wide. He's like, nah, free kills for me, bruh. I'm going to make this my series. And that is the pistol for PACT. Level Up. 4 rounds down. They need to force up to try and make something happen because they need to win this next one. Otherwise, you're going to get pushed way too far back.
You can't be in a worse position on Inferno than having the bomb dropped at top mid in a CT pistol round. Those USPs just have a total shooting gallery at maximum range, and you have to peek into them. What a nightmarish situation that Level Up found themselves in the pistol, and now they're desperate to convert this second round force to try and swing some economic momentum back in their favor. PACT to the first side to reach the double digits milestone, but this could still be a bit of a precarious round for them if they're not careful.
Yeah, definitely. There's a very big flush potential here on this T side. Okay, that nade does a tremendous amount of damage, but you can definitely overwhelm players on a map like Inferno. Close range fights, pistols do reign supreme most of the time. There's going to be Goofy and Sobol chiming in. Great spray down. Sobol gets a double. It's a 3-for-2 trade. Bomb can be planted. Necrogenesis has to plant it safely, though, because he's actually charging onto the site a little bit too late. G, last man standing, the best player on the side of a level up at the moment, but he has to do it all. Gets one, looks for the second. Is he going to clutch it out all onto Darko to try and turn this clutch around? But the bomb is ticking. Time is dropping. Darko does win the duel. And D, his best efforts right there will not be enough. Even the little BM smoke thrown out by Darko at the end will be an easy defuse coming in. And PACT will have 11. Level Up will most likely buy a couple of deagles, and that should be it. I mean, with the damage dealt, you might consider going for a full force up into the next one, which is definitely, yeah, that's what they're going to go for. They know if they break PACT right here, that is going to force them on an eco, but you need to break PACT first.
And to be honest, I don't necessarily disagree with the decision of an investment here. You very rarely see teams divert away from the very standard double eco or pistol force eco buy. That is basically the only two combinations of rounds that ever come through, unless force buys just end up getting traded back and forth. You rarely ever see two consecutive forces from the T side, and it may just work out. You can tell Lunatic wasn't expecting it, as he just went out on his own with an MP9, and this may trigger more than one rotation over to the B site. Maniz is here, but they've taken more aggressive positions towards A as well, with Goofy in a quick rotationary position.
That nade could do a lot of damage. It actually does damage Necro down to 17 HP. Darko on site needs a little bit of help from his teammates. Great spray down, gets a headshot. Oh my god, Dimki also down. Now it's all on AVN, and what a hold from PACT. Annihilating this level up squad completely. I mean, one thing that I do not disagree with is the fact that D was on a Galil that round. Not that it matters too much, but the fact that you give your star player in the map so far, you really need to give him the AK, not let him play with weaker weaponry.
You're absolutely right. It makes no sense not having him on anything other than the best you can bring out. Well, the nightmare for Level Up has actually gotten worse. Not only is it 12-6 at the start of the CT half for PACT, but it's now that Level Up are taking that famed eco. It could be 13-6 rather easily, as these Deagles lack body armor and the utility chews them up in deep banana. Maniz takes down Impulse, and the aim punch means that Deagle cannot effectively engage against the M4. Nade at Dimka's feet removes him from the round as well. Necrogenesis, the next to fall to Darko, and it's like dominoes on this site for Level Up. They all fall down. Maniz gets a quad kill, and this is it for Level Up. They can't afford to lose this gun round.
I know if they lose this upcoming gun round, they're going to be put down way too far. I mean, it's already in a very dire situations right now. They really need to start fragging. It's just that simple. They need to start getting kills. They're losing all these duels. They flush out one player. Oh, that's aggressive movement coming out from the CTs. Goofy close range, gonna go down below, but gets shut down by AVN. I mean, that's a little bit massively ridiculously greedy coming through. Sobol gets himself a kill on Impulse. Of course, it's Sobol to even it out. Scary player from PACT.
PACT just try and finish the game early there, but it's such a gamble in full gun rounds to go for mid-aggression. It barely ever works. Sometimes it does, but you need to be 100% sure you're going to catch your opponents off guard. And unfortunately for that PACT squad, there was a player down underneath in the Mexico angle to try and at least convert the kill, and it did work out. Now it's a man disadvantage for PACT, despite Sobel finding a kill in return through the apartments. It is going to be level up walking into the more heftily defended bomb site, but they're so low on these rifles. Lunatic, he could go big here, but D looks like he anticipates this aggression.
He looks away at the right second. Now Goal and Sobel on site, but he's one versus the world. Will only get himself his second of the round, and it's going to be save territory for Darko. Has that AK to save into the next, and I mean, at this point, don't risk it. Don't get them a possibility to get back into the game. Just keep that weaponry and take that one as a loss. You tried to go for a little cheeky play, but it unfortunately bit you in the ass.
They gamble one round away, then PACT, and let LVLUP have their first of the T side, 13-7, and there was no reason for that aggression, and there is no reason to go aggressive on their CT side. They've been regularly winning gunfights and playing well from a trade fragging perspective. All they've had to do so far on their CT sides is sit in the bomb sites and wait for their opponents. They changed that strategy on one occasion in the half, and they've lost one round so far.
Exactly that. They need they are going to buy that big green stick for Maniz. I think actually most of Maniz's kills have been with utility so far. And against Ecos, his opping, I mean, both oppers just have not really woken up. It seems just yet. Impulse, 5 kills into. They at one point just let D op instead of Impulse because it just didn't work out. There's going to be the peak from Maniz, is going to whiff the shot and fall back towards that B side. That does give intel to the T's that the opper is towards B, and there is very little chance that they'll go for a double op setup. Ah, I love that sneaky little boost so you don't hear Dimkey jumping up towards balcony.
Won't have so much impact, unfortunately, as PACT haven't committed any players to the aggressive at defense. And Dimka first around the corner, that is massive. Wrecks them both on the close angle. Maniz has found Impulse at bare minimum, but now they're Molotoved out of the A bomb site. There's a couple of low players, sure, but this retake is already not possible now for PACT. They have to bail out with their weapons, and Dimka, that is heroic play to find LVLUP their 8th round.
Yeah, if Dimka falls there, they might be in a world of hurt on the side of LVLUP, especially with the 4-man stack towards the A side. But he opens it up beautifully and gets LVLUP their 8th on the board. They still have a fighting chance. PACT, of course, will have a reasonable-ish buy into the next one. They should be fine enough, though, on PACT. They still have plenty of rounds to continue their streak to try and secure this one out, but that is definitely a blow to their ego right there after losing those 2 rounds in a row.
They need to worry about momentum being built up by this T side as well now, as their economies are starting to develop. And remember what happened on Dust 2. It was LVLUP who started strong in the second half, and then PACT came straight back into things. And that's a situation PACT want to desperately avoid granting over to this LVLUP side. They force up into this round. Lunatic on a FAMAS and Sobol on an MP9 perhaps would be swapping those weapons around based on the performances on Dust 2, but they'll content with their purchases for the moment. Maniz's AWP shouldn't really be taking the aggressive peaks here. I think playing a more passive style is just going to be beneficial to him.
Darko's playing sandbags in Banana, of course, very risky position to stand because you can definitely easily get double naded or mollied out of your position, and they are hedging towards that B site. Push quickly. They're even boosting, but a decent nade lands on Necrogenesis, and yeah, this is going to be a flash that needs to save the peak. That's going to be 1 kill for Darko. Flash comes through. Molly's going to hold them off the angle, and Darko could easily disengage here. Impulse has the op in hand. Darko burning. Lost 50 HP. But is going to be playing close angles, and a small spray through the smoke does give away that he was completely blinded right there.
A lot of time eaten up as well, and Darko's found another kill in the round. That smoke he had was supposed to be to put the Molotov out, but by dropping it aggressively, he creates more space for the CT side to maneuver as he tries to fire off shots and bait out the peak. He does do it, but he can't find the shots while blind. He's called the rotations over from the rest of his team, though. With 20 seconds left, they need to go quickly into the B-bomb site, and Lunatic knows it out first, but he's only dealt damage onto Impulse. The FAMAS, not the right weapon. That is, though, from Meniz. Takes down AVN, headshot through the smoke, and looks to try and deal damage onto Dinka as well. It's still the man advantage for PACT as they try to retake the B-bomb site.
That was an insane shot. Even a headshot through the smoke, perfectly placed. Beautiful play coming out from him. Dimka is going to be playing close angles towards construction, but will be spotted out right now. Does not expect the double peek to come through, and that is going to be an easy defuse for PACT. Great round coming out from them. I mean, the two players towards Banana, they just did everything right there. Dimky just, it was Darko together with Lunatic completely shutting down that push, keeping them occupied for so long. They couldn't flush them out. They definitely could have flushed them out if they spent their utility correctly. But Darko, he almost single-handedly held that team off. And great kudos to him. That was a very impressive round to boot.
I think LVLUP there were worried that Meniz's AWP had rotated over to the B-bomb site and was ready to help defend. It was using the sniper rifle for the opening pick, or at least trying for it in Banana, that revealed its position previously on Meniz. And I think that LVLUP were expecting, if they tried to aggress into Darko, there'd just be an AWP waiting for them on this close corner to try and take them down. Now they're obviously paranoid about sandbags, but they've taken down Lunatic on the shoulder peak. They look like they're trying to go for the quick wrap into the site as well. They've left AVN to deal with any rotators over from A, and Darko's caught completely off guard. That flash has saved his life, though. However, it's cost Meniz his, perhaps. Snowball now goes down as well. Impulse finds Goofy, and it's all on Darko if they want to defend the bomb site. He's given his position away, found an opening kill, dancing around a smoke. There's no plant yet for the T's, but as soon as Impulse pops his head up, he should find an AWP shot. Instead, the bomb hasn't committed to the site. It can retreat towards A, and that is any possibility of victory removed for Darko.
Yeah, that's a good call, because Darko, he was feeling it right there. He got a little bit too close to clutching that one out, playing around the smoke, the pillars, everything on the back of the site, and they just could not flush him out. Again, another round where they couldn't flush him out. Luckily for them, the rest of the team got flushed out instead. But why are they getting so aggressive here? LVLUP, they don't have that much money themselves. I guess they're trying to drop that one op from Darko, but it is, you can't really risk too much HP loss as well. Molly towards New Box is going to flush him off the angle, and Darko towards Dark should be pretty much the first spot where they peak.
And he's whipped the opening shot too. That's allowed Dimka to convert, and no weapons will be saved forward from PACT. That means it's, I would say, have to be a hard eco, but Goofy is only on 1500, so I'm not sure whether he'd have to double eco anyway, which might prompt out a force buy here from the PACT squad. I really wouldn't want to see that happen, as that would be potentially 14-11 before they were getting guns out again. That's LVLUP's way back in.